Good morning, kids. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and shining brightly just like the sun. So, I am back for the second session of the EVS class. But before I start with today's session, I would like to share a beautiful thought with you people. It says, every teacher once was a student. Every winner once was a loser. Every expert once was a beginner. But all of them have crossed the bridge called learning. Yes, kids, learning is really important, whatever may the circumstances be. But our school, GT Goenka Public School Kanpur, has been making all the possible efforts and fighting against all the hurdles and obstacles to make you learn and grow each and every day. And all of us expect you all to cooperate. I know you all are doing that. Thank you so much, kids. Okay, so it's time to continue with our chapter, the ecosystem. So, the first topic is food chain. Can anybody tell me what is a food chain? Let me tell you. A food chain shows how each living thing gets food and how energy and nutrients are passed from one organism to another. How are the living beings surviving in this ecosystem? They are eating each other. They are dependent on each other. Food chains begin with plant life and they end with the animal life. You know, some animals eat plants. Some animals eat other animals also. So this is a food chain. When it starts with plants eating animals and some animals eating the animals. This is a total food chain. This is a full food chain. The flow of energy in an ecosystem, it is a one-way process. If the grass is once eaten by the rabbit will not give back the grass. The grass has already been eaten by the rabbit. Then rabbit has been eaten by some other animal. Thus, the sequence of organisms through which the energy flows, it is known as the food chain. So basically we can define food chain as the sequence of organism in which the energy flows. It is the sequence in which the things are eaten by the living organisms in a proper series. Now this is one of the easiest food chain. Can you see in the diagram? Firstly there is corn, then there is mouse, then there is snake, and then there is owl. The corn or the plant is first eaten by the mouse. Then the mouse is eaten by the snake, and then the chain follows up and the owl then eats the snake. So the corn is eaten by the mouse is eaten by the snake, and the snake is eaten by the owl. And this is how this food chain completes. The three categories of the food chain are producers, that are the plants, consumers, that are the animals or human beings, and the third one, decomposers, that are bacteria and fungus. They are all dependent on each other. When we talk about producers are the green plants which make their food by the process of photosynthesis. The food chain always begins with them. So we can say that producers are the green plants which initiate the food chain in the ecosystem. Consumers are the living things that directly or indirectly get their food from the green plants only. They can also eat animals sometimes. A living thing that gets its energy by eating producers or other living things, those are known as consumers. The consumers cannot use the sun's energy like the plants use by the process of photosynthesis. The plants are able to make their own food with the help of sunlight, with the help of carbon dioxide, water and soil, as I discussed it yesterday through the process of photosynthesis. But here the consumers do not have that power. The consumers cannot prepare their own food. In fact, they are always dependent on the producers or the plants for their own food. Basically, the consumers are of three main types: the herbivores or the herbivorous animals, the carnivores or the carnivorous animals, and the omnivores or the omnivorous animals. So now I will tell you what and how do they respond towards the ecosystem? Herbivore is an animal that only likes to eat plants. The animals that only eat plants or plant products such as grass, leaves or grains. These are known as herbivores or the herbivorous animals. Now can you give me some examples that are herbivores or herbivorous animals? Some examples for herbivores are cows, deer, goats and rabbits. They all eat plants or the plant products or the leaves. The next one is carnivorous. The animals that eat flesh are called carnivorous. For example, bear, lions, tigers and wolves. These animals only like to eat meat. And the third one, it's the omnivores or the omnivorous animals. These are the animals that eat both plants also and animals also. So we can also say that omnivores are the combination of herbivorous animals and the carnivorous animals, as they eat plants also and the flesh of other animals also, the meat also. So there are three kinds of consumers, that are the herbivores, carnivores and the omnivores. The third category of the food chain is decomposers. You know what's the meaning of decompose? Decompose means breaking down of a substance into smaller particles. It means breaking down a substance into the smallest form so that it can be decayed or absorbed by the soil. As written in the picture also, a decomposer is a creature or organism that breaks down organic matter such as dead animals and plant materials. Here they are talking about organic matter. Organic matter means the dead bodies of the animals or the waste plants which are dead. When these are decomposed, these are eaten by some animals, and these animals are bacteria and fungi. Some commonly known decomposers are bacteria, fungi and worms. They are responsible for breaking down the body of dead plants and also the animals. Coming to the fourth category of food chains, it is the scavengers. Scavengers do not like to hunt for their prey. They are the animals that eat whatever is available to them. Whatever and whichever dead bodies they find in their ecosystem, that is their food. So we can define scavengers as the birds and animals that feed on the dead bodies of the animals. Some of the examples of scavengers are vultures, hyenas, eagle and even crows. It's time to revise whatever we learnt in this class. First, we learnt about the food chain. What is a food chain? A food chain is the series in which the animals and the plants depend on each other. Then we talked about the different categories of food chain, that is the producers, consumers, decomposers and scavengers. Producers are the green plants which make their own food. Then the consumers, they are the living things that directly or indirectly get their food from the green plants. The consumers can be further categorized into three parts: the herbivores, the carnivores and the omnivores. The herbivores only eat plants like the cows and deer. The carnivores only eat flesh like the bear, lions, tigers, etc. And then we come to omnivores, the animals that eat both plants and animals such as crows and bear. Coming to the decomposers. The examples for decomposers are bacteria and fungi. These are the animals which are responsible for breaking down the body of dead plants and animals, and then they get absorbed in the soil and become the food for the plants in the form of minerals. And then we come to the scavengers. The scavengers are the birds and animals that feed on the bodies of dead plants and animals. Oh, Did I say something wrong? Yes, I did. The scavengers are the birds and animals that feed only on the bodies of dead animals, not on the plants. They do not like to hunt for their own prey. For example, vultures, hyenas, crows, etc. So the class today ends, children. Thank you, children, and have a very nice day. I will see you back soon. Bye-bye and stay safe at home.